Big. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? For this squad, they've been so good, both during this, these last few days and the last time we saw them here. They've been so good at taking teams the distance, but it's just a matter of closing these maps out and securing an actual victory, right? Because it's going to be heartbreaking for Big otherwise, right? They're going to look at this as every single series was close, every single series was winnable, and in the end, they just weren't able to get across the finish line. So that could be a pretty heartbreaking result for Big. G2, heavy favorites there over on the Betway odds. As we can see, they're starting things off over on the CT side here of Big's map pick. And Big, well, they've grouped 5 players up. They're heading up through Banana. Kenny spotted one, and he'll just fall on back. It wouldn't surprise me if sometime soon we see a rotation away from this A site. Flashbang's getting lined up from Nexa. I was wondering if anyone was going to peek in on the back of it, but he's just holding that for the push. He's waiting. And so if Big go into this B bomb site, Kenny, he's got to do a lot to try and stay alive in this situation.
Oh, he tags Smooth. I think it was a dink through the coffin there. Puts him on 25. And oh, nice shot from Kenny. This is great work now as well, considering the fact that he is solo B. He's found a pick, and he's been able to stay alive at the back of the site. That buys time for a rotation. And with a kit, G2 can play retake. Great shot again. Kenny just laying down the pain here into that B site. 5-on-3 as Big get control of it, and the bomb can be planted, but past that, really, what can Big do here?
Well, they've got to try and hold on first. You have to get past Kenny here if you're next. And you're not going to be able to win that duel. Kenny's on for the ace. What a pistol round this has been from him. And obviously, it's going to get snatched away at the very end by Nexa. Kenny doing the bulk of the damage to Smooya earlier on in the round. That was like a 460 round, damage round from Kenny on that B bomb.
Let's see his ADR after that one, right? That's not going to stay in his hands too much longer. Ridiculous shots as well. Man, just really patient stuff.
This is perfect for G2, right? Because Kenny, yesterday, even though, he was looking all right, there were a few chances he had where, you were a bit like, ooh, these aren't the shots that Kenny normally misses. Now, I was pretty close in my 460 ADR.
Yeah, well done.
475 right there. Well, it was just 400 kills, and then I quickly tried to remember how much HP Smooya had, so it's not the hardest math I've ever had to do, but
take the credit, Harry.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll run with it. Just like Big are running up through mid in this round. They're running, they're gunning, and they're getting into this A-bomb site.
Yeah, SMGs as well with his second round force spike. Jax has found a kill, but Kenny is so blind on the site, and they'll be able to overwhelm him. That smoke covering a player from pit, but there's no one here for G2. They're up in the apartments. Both these CTs having to play retake once again. This time, it could get a little bit more messy. Nexa being caught in the smoke. He takes a kill into Nex, trading his teammate. 3-on-3. No kit currently picked up for G2. They should have one on the ground somewhere, but that's going to have to be picked up soon. Tabson on the wrap. Hunter's holding for it, and now the advantage back in the hands of G2. Not for long, though. Smooya making things interesting up on long. That bomb open, and Xantares is yet to be spotted inside of the site. G2 running out of time, and still no kit. That's going to be gone from the round at this point, and the round might be gone as well. Jax with another, but 10 HP, and Smooya's molly the bomb. That's a done deal. G2 have to get out of the site, and I don't think Smooya wants to let this gun get away, but he might not have the opportunity. It's still around for Big regardless, and the gun is lost to the bomb. G2 are going to be kicking themselves after that one. A slow attempt. I like the back off into the apartments, but just not getting back into the site in time.
Yeah, you could see they were really just blindsided by the pace that was set from Big in that round. They just weren't ready for it. Even Kenny inside of the bomb site, right? Still lining up utility as he's getting pushed by players. It was the sheer speed that catches G2 off guard. And so now they invest into this round. They put quite a significant investment behind it, leaving some extra money in these bank accounts for when that first buy comes in. You'll note that they've got 4 smokes. They're going to try and go for the classic pistol smoke delay play. Problem they're going to have is that Big aren't really slowing down for anything. No. So as G2 have tried to be smart, they've tried to hold on to these smokes. Well, they've actually let Big get this foothold in top mid and the apartments as a result. And you can see this smoke is anything but ideal for Kenny. He's trying to coax Xantares into the gap in that smoke, and Xantares does go through the gap. Gets a kill for it, but Jax down in the pit, removing Tabson. Hunter winning his fight out. This is still getting a bit dicey here for Big. Rotations are coming in. Hunter, we know how good this man has been, and he's inside of the A site now, causing chaos, buying time. Smooya thankfully shuts him down, and it's a 2v2 in the retake here for G2.
Oh, but Amanek taking his time. Smooya's on the position, so patience from Amanek, and it might be rewarded. Next, he's going to find a kill. They got to get that bomb off the cart, and Amanek's found the timing, but he's not found the kill. Pistol's out. He's going to get double peeked down to 50, and his time ticking away as the bomb plant comes in. He tries to get Next in the pit, but he's gone wide, and Big are going to pick it up. We know that G2 can certainly deal with this chaos, with chaos of their own, right? Thinking back to some of these games that we have seen in the Pro League so far, but I do love the pace that Big is setting. They talk about, you know, some of these players having more freedom to play with since the departure of God B in this lineup, and a very aggressive Big to start off this map, and they've started it off pretty damn well. 2-1 on the T side, and G2, they've got to take an eco after that half time. Oh, get out.
Oh God, there's more. Get away. The artillery barrage is in. And Zantares, okay, he's going to stick around. He knows those nades are gone now, and he's anticipating that at some point G2 might take a peek in, might get a bit curious. And, well, one man does just skirt on by. G2 getting 2 players up in the apartments. Hunter's watching CT. That's going to get smoked off over at the arch side, and Hunter might go through this. There's a world in which he catches the timing. No one's keeping an eye on this smoke. There's no way he can know that, though, so he's just going to wait for that to dissipate. Kenny down in the pit gets his head removed by Tizian. Hunter just misses that timing to come through the smoke, and the A site is now under Big control.
Yeah, if he came through earlier or later, it would have been better, but he came through right as Big sent the bomb up long late off of B. Zantares, he's also here, and he's found Jax in the apartments. G2 have been doing that a lot once they lose that long control, getting a couple of players up in the boiler, and it will be read by Big, as will this round. It's going to be a third on the T side as they look to chase Amanek down, but he wants to hold on to the creep. Might not get the option to, but Tizian getting dropped, and Amanek with a chance here, but the SMGs, no fear from Smooya. He's got nothing to lose here. May as well go for the Creed kill. Amanek off angle, tucking himself in. Smooya's made some noise, and Amanek's given away his position. He's going to get hounded down now. Smooya's going for the wrap. I love it. Jumping back side. It's going to be heard, but he's forced Amanek down the stairs into Zantares, and somehow Amanek still wins that kill. That was a great call from Big or from Smooya specifically to get the wrap and force him into his teammate, but not getting that frag there is a bit awkward for Zantares. Regardless, it's a gun save for Amanek, and we know how good those Kriegs can be on the CT side. G2 going to be coming in with a buy round in the next round.
And that's the thing, I think for G2, the important thing is getting off to a good CT side start when this AWP on Kenny is that much more effective. You know, heading into the T side, he's going to fall off, but I feel like that's where the rest of the team can really come alive, right? The T sides from G2 have always been so good, but Kenny now, with this AWP, going to get tested. We wanted to see something from him. He's got Hunter playing the bait and switch. The bait is in, but the trade comes through next. Able to deal with him. Man advantage maintained thanks to Kenny S, who now just falls back into this A side of the map. G2, they've already rotated heavily. 2 players sat in CT right now. Amanek holding the cross down. He'll get peeked into by Tizian. Nexa,
oh no,
not quite able to overcome Nex, and he's dropped the A as he heads towards the B bomb site.
That's an awkward one for G2. I love this setup over on long where they realize that Big have just been going for these fast Mach 10 rounds, but actually double setup into the CT spawn. It may surprise Big, but they're able to trade their way to a bomb plant. Retake again with no kit for G2. This is a very difficult round. They've got to keep the pace up as Kenny sits on this AWP. Going to be lining up the nade for back of dark, but both players sitting coffin side, and that won't be expected by G2. Big have delayed this long enough. Bomb half ticked. Surely there's just no way G2 can win this if a kill doesn't present itself soon. Next is going to get flashed in. Kenny's off the angle, and with that, G2 have got to call the save. It's a 4th round for Big on the T side, and this fast pace is again crediting them well. G2, they may have had that early advantage, but Big absolutely not fearful behind that long smoke, going to go right through it and pick up a 4th round.
And I'm just loving the aggression from Big. You really are giving G2 a taste of their own medicine, right? That's something that they were able to do yesterday to devastating effect, especially you think back to that Dust 2 matchup, right, that they were on, and they're just going for these fast rounds. They're really keeping the pace high. And so many teams have been caught off guard by that, by this G2 squad. Big looking to kind of replicate it, use it against them now. And you can see, because of these fast plays, because of how quickly Big have been going, G2 are forced to throw so much of their utility early on in this round, and they don't have a lot to work with. Already down to just 3 smokes and a flashbang. The Molotovs are already in. Smokes are down over in the top and middle. Next is going to try and re-flash Amanek into the banana, but he gets dropped by Xantares. Now this B play seems pretty tantalizing for Big.
Yeah, a missed smoke though, and that will hold them back for a second here. Don't want to overcommit as a rotate comes through for G2. They're going to move Hunter over towards this B bomb site, but Big know they're up against a bit of a low buy here, so they don't want to overextend into what could be a potential stack. However, after spotting one of the 2 rifles in play down in the apartments, Jack's getting a kill onto Tizian. They will execute. That smoke has a massive gap. Hunter's going to be able to exploit it. Re-smoke down from CT. 3 players here for G2, and at a spot, Hunter, he sees the first man go across, but he doesn't take the kill. Taps and through the smoke, doubles up, and those are huge entries for Big to get a bomb plant. G2 might even, again, consider to save these weapons, considering Kenny S is down to 10, but Nex has his cross covered. Luckily enough, the re-smoke gives Kenny a bit of room to maneuver, but it's still going to be fine for Big. 5 rounds up on this T side, no signs of slowing down, and money finally going to be made as they keep 4 alive for a change. This is a difficult start for G2, and they're going to need to find the response to this this quick B pace from Big. And more importantly, they're going to need kits, because in every single one of these retakes we've seen G2 in, since the pistol round, they've not had a kit.
Yeah, now, so G2, at least heading into this round, you know, that one was just kind of the partial investment around the guns that were saved. They put some armor up, they put some utility into the round. Now they've got everything they possibly need. And so this is where I'm hoping we see a couple of things rear their head again. I want to see some Molotovs down in mid and banana to deny this fast control. I would love to see that nade stack come into fruition, back down banana, the one that netted in that kill onto Tabson earlier on. Just anything to try and deny Big this fast foothold into so many key areas of the map. I think as well, you know, they've been trying to go for this apartments play a hell of a lot over on the A bomb site. Yeah. And it feels like maybe it's been hurting them a bit just because Big haven't really been dedicating towards apps. Whenever they've wanted to take top middle, they just take top middle. You know, they're not contending for anywhere else on the map. But we've seen how that pans out for G2.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it helped Big dedicate to that B site in the previous round, right? The second they spot one of those 2 guns in the apartments, even though it's a kill off of the back of G2's position, it's Big going, okay, there's the M4, let's avoid it, let's go B. And they just instantly execute.
So I would love to see, you know, I think now would be a great time to like pull in a bit of like a gimmick, like a
mid push.
I was going to say like a patio boost or something like that, right? Get like a double setup over towards short side to try and negate this top mid control.
Yeah, one of the problems though has been, you know, Big have been throwing down this porch molly over the roof from Xantares when he runs up second mid, so that can get things hot and spicy up towards A. Luckily G2 throws some utility B side for a change. They have a smoke down, but look at this early rotate. Next are going back towards long side. G2, I assume, double stacking this cubby again, potentially. However, again, that is going to lead to a late rotation back towards B if they want it. And Nexa, he's just going to immediately tuck tail and duck back into the safety. Rightly so as well. Big have 4 players top B right now, with Tizian still holding on to that second mid lurk. G2 have avoided the apartments for this round, but it's lost some of the information that Big don't have any A control, and they can just execute into a 4-on-2. Again, we have kits this time for G2. That's a nice change, and this rotate a few seconds ahead of time could make all the difference on this B-side defense.
That's the thing, G2 just haven't seen anything all round long. They made the decision to stack 3 players here to B, and that's the right one to make. 2 players trapped in oranges. This is anything but usual, and they will get spotted. Xantares deals with 1, and it's next to the full, but they know that Amanek is here as well, and they'll catch him in the middle of the bomb site. Bomb can now get planted for Big. Jax hasn't even begun rotating yet, and so as a result, this has got to be a save. Hunter gets found there through the smoke, rotating in through CT. Very unfortunate for him. But this should be the round, really.
Yeah,
10
10
seconds. They've got to get this bomb down next. Come on, bud. Ooh.
He just wants cover. No one's in the site, and they hadn't crossed CT yet. He's just trying to flash them. Have they just thrown the round?
They just missed it. And there we go.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Really?
Love to see that.
You love to see that.
They were so worried about re-peeks from CT that he was trying to set up utility for his teammates to cross. But at that point, they're both banana. They can just double peek it, and he can try and plant coffins. Kenny, unlikely going to be able to go wide there.
It was definitely like an awkward spot to be in. You understand how, like, you know, you could have that happen, but you really can't afford to be making that mistake if you're big. G2 weren't even going for that one.
At a certain point, when you see the time is low, you just got to stick it and hope you get away with it, because the alternative is you lose, right? So, like, you know, you can't stick around, keep throwing grenades forever, Harry. The bomb plant has to be coming in eventually, and that is a massive error from Big. Everything up until that point was great. They dealt with the triple stack. They dealt with 2 in oranges. They even killed the rotate. G2 about to save, about to give it in, and they win it due to time. Hell, they'll take it, but Malik calling out a pause and making sure G2 know, okay, right, we're still in hot water here. Remember, that's not going to happen every round.
See, the thing I love is, like, you don't need to have the bomb defusal school if you're G2, if the bomb just doesn't even get planted anyway, right? So there's always that. You know, maybe that was the big brain tactic from them. Like, oh, well... That's just ugly, right? That's just like an ugly way for a round to go. It's not nice, but I think for Big, the important thing is now is they just want to move on from that. They want to write that off. I think it's very, very important that they don't let G2 start to find some footing on the back of losing a round in that fashion, because it feels like that is when you get in your head, right? That is like the recipe to self-destruction.
And you know a lot about that.
I do, man. I self-destruct on the regular. So take it from me, I'm a professional.
Well, Big, their money is skew-if, but drops are coming through to facilitate a buy. Smooth's still got that AWP, luckily enough. Tabs and double AWP T side. Interesting stuff from Big, but let's see what fruition it does come to. Kenny's waiting alongside, again with Hunter. G2 are loving this 4-man A setup, very much expecting Big to come this way, and you know it's really not been the case most of the time. A lot of these B plays coming through. That being said, after the previous round, I think Big want anything but that B site. Nice damage in the apartments done by Jax, puts Tizian down to 4. Nade won't finish the kills, he ducks out through the bedroom, but that could be a problem long term. Rotate back towards B. G2 setting up with a heavy short side play, and they might just get aggressive here with the AWP. One of them holding. Smooth is going to get caught, though, and Kenny, great shot with the AWP. Looking for a little bit more, and he's got it as well. Both the AWPs down for Big. One's been picked back up, but Nex is going to drop Kenny down a size, rather. 4 on 3. Big still with this low HP player, and flash through long. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, they've even moved into this double AWP T side in the 3-on-4. Tizian picking up Smooyers, I think it was, just because he's low HP. Next, retrieving another. So not conventional and usually not ideal. I'm curious if Big are going to be able to use these to create some space. Yeah, that is the one thing that they've got going their way. G2 are going to try and assemble this boost up over the top of it. And with players being tagged down low, Amanek, he could stand to do a hell of a lot from up here. Does get the first man. That bomb plant's got to come in.
No, Harry.
Get the bomb down. There we go. Tizian's putting in the numbers. Nex helps out. Nexa. Woo! There they both go. He gets them. He gets both kills inside of the site. Runs on in with the MP9 and guns them down.
I'm just happy the bomb plant came.
Yeah, they're going to get that third round. Oh, that one took me a bit by surprise. Nexa, you understand why he goes through. There's so little time left on that bomb. He knows those players inside of the B bomb site are more than paranoid after that last round. And so he catches them as they get the plant in and finds both kills there with the MP9.
Yeah, Kenny with great form as well to start off this series on the AWP. As you said, it might get hard on that second half, but at least beginning things with good footing. Big, another tactical pause. They had one after losing the previous round, 2 the time, and now, well, more discussions to come through, because that, again, came very, very close. And, okay, yeah, they got the bomb plant down with a second left, but it was such little time that they just got instantly re-peaked by Nexa and didn't really have anyone to cover it. One of the players already dying. So, close rounds for Big, but close isn't going to cut it, and they've got to take an eco for a change. lots of money on players like Smooya, so the AWP is still going to be able to come through moving forward. Nex is having a fantastic start to this game, 11-3, top of the server, but let's see if that keeps up. Lots of grenades down banana here for G2, just going for a standard control, and they're going to rotate a man back as well. The standard setup for G2 on the CT side. Apparently so, at least this game. To be fair, looking good right now with Big going all in towards middle with these pistols. Xantara's getting tagged, and Kenny, he is going to go back in on long with the flashbangs. Big are yet to make their way out, but with the long smoke coming down, that will give them room to move. There's a gap, and Kenny will take that frag. Good stuff as Big try and close the distance up towards A, but they're just going to walk into these crossfires. Jax, Hunter, everyone getting a time to shine on this A site. And Tizian, he's been hurt in the apartments, and he has everyone coming after him.
Ooh. Oh my word, I was going to say, yeah, he's dead here. You know, Nexa can see his feet, he can see everything, but Tizian actually able to get that kill to his name. It's the bottom mid wrap from Amanek that should have this round dead to rights. Anywhere that Tizian goes, he's going to make contact. If he goes towards A, well, he's really dead. There's 3 players there. If he goes down through mid, he might get caught off guard by the aggressive Amanek. And Hunter holding that corner of the smoke, one step ahead, as he often is. G2 I'll get another round on the board. And this is where, you know, we kind of said, like, for Big, that it was pretty important they didn't give G2 away back into the game after losing that round where they don't get the bomb planted. They've started to do that. And so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, the resilience for this Big squad if they're able to get back in the swing of things after these last few rounds.
Yeah, they have been heartbreaking, really, a couple of these. So, oh, Kenny getting thrown across middle like a catapult. He's not going to be able to hit anyone with that boulder, though. Smooya will survive in the pit. Moving up mid fast to take this fight, and Hunter getting caught throwing a Molotov. Great work from Smooya. Tagged by the fire, but worth it as he pulls the advantage in the favor of Big. 5-on-4 as G2 set up with a solo man on B, but that's going to force these rotates to come back through, and they're still stuck in CT spawn. Again, this long smoke coming down, this time not with a gap, so nice change from Big. Tizian just flashing through, but he's going to try and take Archway as they set up for a B split. There is a man there, Amanek. Oh, keeping close, and Nex has actually gone through the smoke as it fades. Tizian getting caught off after shooting and giving away his position. And Kenny, now he's been ascertained as well. He's got to give up B, trying to fight from the coffins. They don't have a smoke towards that spot, and he's also getting wrapped from Xantara as Smooya, even hitting a shot down to 1 HP for Kenny, and he needs to try and follow up, but this flank finally coming through at the perfect time. If Xantara was there a second earlier, he likely dies to that AWP, but instead Big get a bomb plant and a 4-on-2 to pick up their 6th round. G2 not even interested.
Yeah, so there it is, the immediate recovery from Big, right? The second they're back in with a full buy, they've got everything they need. They get around back on the board and are now looking to get back into the swing of things. I am still loving, you know, like Big, you think about it, this squad, always loved a bit of Inferno. It was the map that was kind of their claim to fame back at the PGL Major Krakow, right? So you remember there, teams kept letting them pick into it, and that was one of the reasons that they went on such a deep run at that tournament, was just how good they were looking here. Obviously, times have changed, squad's different now, but there's still a few of the same players knocking around inside the server. And so it's good to see that under Tabson's leadership, this affinity for this map still looking strong for the German, or majority German squad.
Yeah, because there have definitely been questions with you know, map pools for Big. I'm just thinking back to Train, really, over these last couple of days, right? That game versus North, Big, they didn't pick Train in that series, North did, but Big were able to get 14 rounds, although they really fell apart near the end of the T side, and then they go ahead and pick it up against NIP yesterday, and if you remember what happened there, Harry, they got 1 round. So, yeah, there are definitely question marks for Big's map pool in terms of which direction it's going, but yeah, Inferno, great one to have in the back pocket. And Big at least making this interesting to start, despite the off couple of rounds we've seen here on the T side. In the lead by 2. G2 with the economy up for question. Last buy coming through, assuming they do not pick this one up. We've never seen 3 early B for G2, not too focused on taking banana control. They throw a couple of grenades, but by and large just give it up, and Big aren't really abusing that territory either. Xantares is up top B right now as that smoke is thrown. That's the old school Fnatic sandbag smoke to just keep the AWP away, and G2 as a result will have to fall back into the site. Kenny is here with the AWP though. Re-aggressing, hungry for more. Ooh.
Oh, in the meantime, Nex and Tizian both over towards this A side of the map. They're making their presence known. Tizian gets brought down very, very low in that exchange. And across the board, HPs aren't looking too great. Everyone's taken some damage here on either side of the equation.
Xantares and Kenny just traded. I think Kenny legged him and Xantares puts him down to 27. So real damage going across everyone here, and it's all up in the air. And especially considering Kenny just left that B site after getting tagged. So trying to adjust the position of the AWP, but Big are now going to go walking into B. And again, G2 don't have the numbers here. It's a huge risky rotation, and again, it might come back to bite them.
Molotov, Amanek not forced out of position from it, and he keeps spraying through. They still haven't. Oh, now he is getting burnt. He is getting tagged up.
Finally.
And Smooya dealing with Kenny on that rotation. That is a monstrous kill to have come in. G2 3v4 for this retake. They don't know it, but it's only a 3-on-3 inside of the site. There's still Nex hanging around in top mid, and you can already see G2, they've written this one off. They're not going to go for it. They want to try and stay alive. It does feel like in a GT, they keep going for these rotations between either site, and it just feels like Big are one step ahead. They're constantly walking into the most barren of the two.
Yeah, I wonder if it's reads or just gambles here for G2, right? Because a lot of this is scary. You know, Kenny fighting with the AWP and then getting spotted and then rotating makes a lot of sense because you want to adjust that AWP's position. You want to keep Big guessing. You know, Big might see the AWP on B and go, screw it, I don't want to go near Kenny. Let's go back towards A. But typically, when you see that AWP adjustment on Inferno, you'll see them swap with the long player and trade positions, meaning you still have 2 players on B. They gamble on the A short setup with 3 players there in this round. And yeah, like you say, Big just take B. Amanek, he gets 1 kill. Maybe if that spray found the second, he did dink someone.
Hang on, that's kind of BS. That Molotov kills
Harry, Molotov's RBS. Welcome to Counter-Strike. Are you new?
I know, but I get it. You know, the coffins, they're made of wood. Maybe they were on fire. Maybe they were going up in flames.
Bodies.
But we can't just have that level of realism in that moment.
Are bodies flammable?
I mean, anything's flammable with enough fire.
Firelighters.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a lot of water.
Apart from steel beams, I think.
Yeah, that is true.
Kills over in top mid. Oh, taps and burns out. From beyond the grave as well. He's not even alive. But the fire in his eyes still burning. This is Amanek now trying to hold down the B-bomb site, and he will run for the hills up through Banana. It's Jax. Look at this, by the way.
This is weird,
yeah. This is a very odd round. Nex and Jax have passed each other in mid, and Nex might get the information that the A site's clear. As such, you're going to anticipate that G2 have both these players rotating through the CT side of the map. You've just cleared middle. You shouldn't be ready for a banana player, and Smooya will have his head removed. Tizian alone in the bomb site. Nex has got his running shoes on. You can hear him panting as he's running down through mid. He's trying to get into the bomb site. Tizian's just got to hold and buy some time, and he's helped out a lot by the fact that G2 just aren't moving. They believe that both of these players are here. How are they to know that Nex is nowhere near the site? And so now that thing that looked like a curse becomes a bit of a blessing. Nex coming in late should have this round dead to rights if Tizian doesn't beat him to it, and he will. So Big 8-4 there. They get a leash back on that round, and they're able to see it through.
Just wrong reads from G2, and to be honest, in this round, you really can't blame them, right? Why would Nex be in the apartments in a 3-on-2 when Big already had control over the B site? And you called it perfectly, Harry. G2, they're not pushing in on that retake there. They think there are 2 players on the site, and they're expecting to get re-peaked off of a timing. That's not going to be the case with Tizian just trying to stay alive. And Big, this is a fantastic T side right now. 8 rounds already done, and G2 coming back in with another buy. We do have this AWP on Kenny. It needs to be proactive. It needs to be finding opening picks, and for the first time he will take it inside of the apartments. Switching things up here. And now G2 actually taking Banana. First time we've seen this as well. Nice change. Get big out of this position, so at least when they take Banana, they can afford to rotate a player back towards A and safely have Amanek spotting. He has a smoke over towards the B wall. If he spots anyone, he drops that smoke and he calls for a rotation. It's a way safer play than playing 4 players on A with no information towards Banana. And this time G2 have the correct read. Big all up on A right now. Getting re-smoked down on B is only going to send them further into this stack.
Yeah, regardless of that, they get control of top mid, and you can see Nex has actually fallen off from Library on the back of that Moto smoke going down to hold for a potential B split. And that could come through with Xantares still down at the bottom of the Banana, and now the bomb getting in through CT. It will be the B play. G2, they had that stack at the A side of the map, and Big have just soared right past it. Amanek now the last hope to try and buy time, and that's a flick and a half there to find Tabson. Oh, Amanek, another one! 3 kills now over at the B-bomb site, and Smooya, he's gonna feed the beast as well. Amanek is huge right now. 4 kills, and he's on for the ace. Tizian, left alone, has to try and succeed where his teammates have failed. Up through Banana he goes. Molotov into the sandbags. No one there, but he at least knows that top B's secured, but it's not enough to get past Amanek. He'll get the ace, saves the round for G2, and puts a 5th on the board. He might have been alone at B, but you wouldn't know it.
That was absolutely crucial as well. Considering he got caught out with that first player, he could have died immediately as a man came around coffins with the bomb. Tabson, what a ridiculous opening kill as well. And that looked like it was lost from G2. They had no kits. If Amanek doesn't delay the plant there and it gets put down on the site, Big probably win it due to time once again. Massive work from Amanek. Double AWP saved here for G2. A lifeline given to them near the end of the half. And more than you can imagine as well, because Big's money has been kaplunked, as has Tizian in his own Molotov, running up top B. And Big trying to overwhelm this bomb site. They're going to run through CT into the boost. Nexa just churning them up. That little MP9 firing paper clips.
That's not how it
yeah, that's way more aggressive. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's like a Bison.
Yeah.
Or a Mac 10, actually. The Mac 10.
That was actually pretty spot on. I'm kind of proud with that. Let's see Xantares. Does he have what it takes? No, he does not.
He doesn't have a head. Or a face. I mean, they go hand in hand. Head and face. And they're both gone. But another round for G2
I know, you
on
can
the
have a
CT
head
side.
with no face.
Yeah, but you can't have a face with no head.
That's true. There we go. You've cracked it.
Voldemort, mate, he had 2 faces on 1 head.
Well, Voldemort was in the back of another man's head.
Right.
That whole, I feel like I've got a Voldemort in the back of my head.
No, that's just schizophrenia.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, well, let's see.
Smooya's got a Glock.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything. Oh, there we go.
Tabson's just trying to yoink it.
He'll never realise. Tabson running up mid with it. Smooya, you know what that's like. He's going, where's my AWP, mate? Like, what's going on here? I've been nabbed. And it is a nab or get nabbed economy right now. So really, had it coming.
Yeah, Tabson's like that teammate in matchmaking where you just follow the AWPer around, and as soon as he's dead, oh, mine. But it's actually Tabson going for openings here, being the man who's likely going to get traded. He's got the bomb, though. He might be able to get a kill. Flash is good. Nex is blind. Gun's been dropped, but Nex is going to drop 2 more. Will eventually fall to his counterpart as Amanek sits in on the coffins. There is a smoke on Nex to get this down, but Smooya's making a lot of noise. And Kenny has come in through the spawn. Nice shot. Gets a tag. Smooya hit as well by the AWP. And Big are getting lit up here, but they're still going to take a kill. And Tizian's off angle finds another. Kenny with a trade, and Nex is keeping this round alive. He's been keeping this entire T side alive right now with 17 kills to his name. It's going to be down to Jax in a 1-on-2 for the half.
Silent on his creep in from CT. They don't know where he is. 1 player in Emo, 1 on coffins. Jax gonna spot Nex. And now a 9 HP Smooya left to be. That bomb is planted on coffins. It's a banana plant. So whether or not he's ready for Smooya over in ruins, we'll have to wait and see. He's got a flash. He seems ready. Smooya only going to get the tag. Oh no. Ah, the nade misses. It gets caught on the coffins. And as a result, Jax, there's just enough time left to grab that defuse. A 7 to 8 half salvaged by G2. Will their T side be one of terror and tribulation, or is it going to be the big boys closing this out on their map pick? Find out after we're back from the break.
yeah. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I ain't too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. This is fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard.
Hold up your sign though. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. Show what you gon' do. They don't want all that. They don't want all that.
That sounds like a pop song.
Take a dive before you die, y'all. It's the only way to live. You can't be without it, baby. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Try before you sign off. Shit can kill you sick. Free all stars. It's the only way to live. Fancy cars and the smiles of the ocean. Purple sky, let that night come with peace. Anywhere you wanna be. Anywhere you wanna be. Yeah, yeah. Hold up your sign, though. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on it. They ain't count on it. Show what you gon' do. They don't want all it. They don't want all it. They don't want all it. Pick up, I know to be right on. Yeah. 'Cause no one really gives. Don't look back, I'll keep your eyes on. Long ago. Doesn't matter what it gon' cost. Never gave a shit, real slow. Let it take a hit. Hey. Who's getting high on emotion?
We are split right down the middle at the end of that first half, 8-7, narrowly in favor of Big. Now they move into the CT side of their map pick. And, you know, while usually this would seem great, and I think it is still really good for Big, right? They still put up a stellar half. We do have to bear in mind how good G2's T sides have been looking. And I think as well as that, the fact that they stumble back to their feet and we have one or two players now starting to find their footing, I'm really looking at, you know, Amanek, who really comes into his own at the end of that first half.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, this one could still go the distance. So, pistol round underway. Big buying up utility on Tabson and Tizzy, and they're going to have a little something at either one of these sites. Or actually, no, they're all over towards the B side right now with the utility.
Tara's, he got caught in the open. Kenny's going to take him down, but the grenade will work wonders here for Big, keeping it in a 4-on-4. Still have the utility up for G2 though. That's what's important, and no kit for Big. Tabson's going to get flashed back in, getting aggressive here. Jax is close though, and he dodges the flash. One coming in for G2. Great teamwork here as Jax gets an opener. Tizzy needs a frag on the defense. He's so good with his USP, but he's getting hounded down. The smoke won't buy him enough time as Jax spams through it. And Tizzy and dead means G2 have a bomb plant. They haven't even had to use their utility, Harry, and now they have two smokes and a Molotov for the post plant. No kit for Big. This is almost undoable at this point, but Smooya wants to give it his all. Quick shot onto Jax. And G2 cowering at the back of the site, not giving anything away.
And with no kills being given over, this becomes the nigh-on impossible round for Big to find. That bomb is also planted for Bernardo. They spot one of these players at Emo, but not the other. And that's the head of Smooya gone. Amanek double peeking into this one. And he'll get both kills. So G2 tying this up now 8-8. All even. They took the pistol round back in the first half, if you recall. Big were able to immediately steal it back with a force buy of their own. Whether or not that's going to happen on the CT side, though, we're going to have to wait and see. I feel like, you know, there's just as good a chance of them taking the eco, giving up the lead, and then getting a full buy on the cards as soon as they can. But no, they go for it. They go for it here and now. Lots of confidence over in the big side of things.
Yeah, I like this. It's Inferno, right? Good. I love a good second round buy on the CT side. Those smoke delay plays can always be great. That being said, if we think back to how Big dealt with these anti-ecos in their T side, they had a lot of fast-paced rounds, quickly up long, getting ahead of this utility. G2 not replicating that, but they will just be walking into B. Big are going to have to be very timely with these smokes. Antara is setting up a flashbang, but Tabson is not in a position to get aggressive. So this is only going to be to hold them back. And even them, he's throwing a different one instead. Big maybe expecting G2 to come through these smokes, but the utility coming through onto the site now. Tabson trying to block the CT smoke. It will not work. G2 not rushing as they've seen this utility, but remember that, Harry, there are 4 smokes still in play for Big. And 45 seconds have gone through. There's still a minute left, and now a rotate down towards B. This is going to leave G2 in a spot where eventually they might just have to go through these smokes if they don't rotate back towards the A site.
I'm absolutely loving the dual Beretta purchase from Nex.
Yeah,
as
I was
well.
waiting for that.
You know me, Hugo.
Yeah.
I'm really pushing for the dual Beretta meta, and not just because it sounds great as a sentence, but also because you got 30 rounds of pure old wreckage.
If we've learned one thing from the Negev, is that more ammo doesn't
Well, let's
mean
see.
better.
Here we go. Proof is in the pudding. Next. Okay, gets one. Fair enough. Double peeked into. Dual Berettas, mate. They're not a hacking gun, you know. Like, it's good for kills, but not in that situation. Tirzian, dig down in the pit. And Xantares, while he will deal with Jax, it's still a man advantage for G2 with that bomb down. So it might just be the save call from Big. They don't really want to hold onto an SMG, but if the choice is that or die, I know what I'm choosing.
And no one offering up a kill, so no reason to overcommit here for Big through this long angle. They know the second that Amanek makes contact, we're going to have a swing from Kenny in the pit with that AK. And at that point, the round will be locked in. 9 to G2. They take the lead back moving into this second half. Xantares could make some money here. Amanek's grabbed the gun, but it's been swiftly removed from him. Xantares, yeah, gonna get killed on the exit, unfortunately. Nexa catches him, and Nexa can go back for that AK, actually. I think he will, but he's lost it. The bomb's blown it away. Ooh, he's grabbed it in time, and G2 at least get out with the 2 rifles they started the round with. Julies get 1, Harry. That's fine. And to be fair, I do bash on you, but the Julies, at least in the pugs we've been playing, you've had a lot of success with them.
Yeah,
and I won't deny that. You like your off-meta weapons, you like your Novas, you're a big fan of the M249.
That's another one that everyone's... Mate, if the price... If they Krieg the M249 and bought it down to, like, Negev price, everyone's using that gun.
Sure.
But they're never going to do that. At least, I really hope not. Because now I'm worried I've given Valve an idea. They're like, maybe the M249 should be $900, actually.
Get out of spawn, get a kill on the pistol round, buy it
Run
up.
back.
Yeah. I remember doing that with Mac 10s, man. You'd start Dust 2, when the buy time was long at the start of CSGO,
Yeah.
T-side Dust 2.
Get a kill and then buy
yeah,
a...
you don't, I have this old clip on one of my hard drives that you don't buy anything in the pistol, you run B, you get a kill, you run back to spawn, you buy a Mac 10, you drop it over to someone with armor, or you just keep it if you're sneaky.
Yeah.
And you have a Mac 10 in the pistol round, pretty broken. But you can't do that anymore, sadly, unless you get the kill down mid-doors. Which is technically possible.
Has anyone ever done that?
Yeah, because you can drop a deagle over to your teammate. They can not buy. They can get a cross kill. They can buy a Mac 10.
God.
It is still feasible on Dust 2, but that is the only way you can do it.
Right.
And I've never seen
Someone try that. In fact, if you're watching, everyone try that. Not now, because we've got Counter-Strike to watch, but later this evening when these are done, get in Dust 2. It's a horrible map, but brave it. Let's see. Tabson over in CT immediately shut down. Xantares followed up onto, and the B-bomb site has crumbled. Unsurprisingly, these pistols not able to hold against the full buy of G2. Oh my word, how's he been allowed to get a kill there? The trade is at least in, so it's kind of cancelled out almost immediately. Smooya should get picked up as well, and this will be G2 finding a 10th.
Tirzian is on exit duty here, and no one's going to be providing any kills. Nex is actually still here. He might want to go if he wants that AK next round. Smoke has faded. Tirzian, well, die as Nexa finds his 3rd kill. G2 take their 10th round here. The T side off to a strong start, as we expected here in this map. But Big, they haven't had a rifle round yet, Harry, so let's give them some credit as the guns will come through in this one. Hopefully we have that AWP on Smooya as well. He was playing so well yesterday. If We think back to that game versus NIP, even after, you know, getting 16-1, he was the only player in double digits and then dropped, I think it was 30 on Nuke. Close loss. And the AWP is indeed out, but G2 not going to be buying one of their own to meet that, still just on rifles as they send players up the banana with that bomb. Big with pretty standard setups here. Smooya holding apartment to the AWP. Retaking banana control here for Big. Xantares is going to move up, but you don't want to dedicate here for too long because it's so easy for G2 to just throw a Molotov on the corner and it cut you off, section you off at sandbags. Big actually might be able to get banana control back fully. They do have a smoke going down, and there it is, retaken by this CT side at the minute mark. That's unfortunate for G2 now, as they've got to go back into A for the time being, and now that's a site with 4 players on. G2, I'm sure, going to expect this, considering they love to run those 4-man A setups all CT side long, but Big with a bolstered defense, and Smooya rotating off at an unfortunate time as G2 set up utility to commit towards A.
Thompson. Oh dear. Oh, he's like, yeah, there's something fishy.
What?
He keeps going through. Okay, a little bit confident maybe, because Amanex now found 2 on the back of it. They take him out advantage, albeit briefly, and now it's back in favor of the G2 squad. Top mid control secured, and G2, they might look for that killing blow here and now in towards the A side of the map. Xantares has Tizian over in Graveyard. Xantares can draw the attention in, and Tizian was meant to go for the kill, but instead they both get cut down, and it's Smooya left alone, rotating in from B. He's got that AWP in a 1v4 retake. The HPs for everyone on G2 isn't great, but this is not a risk that Smooya wants to take ever. He's going to fall out of this round, and that's now G2 on to an 11th.
That was a really late rotation call from Big there. It's unfortunate. They had a solo B setup, and then they decide to swap that solo B setup with Smooya. It makes sense, right? Putting the AWP alone on the top of B when you have banana control. That's pretty traditional, but doing it right when G2 were coming in through mid, they're able to get a double opening kill, trade a frag onto Tabson inside of the smoke, and at that point, yeah, okay, Smooya's got the AWP, but he is too far away, and that's going to be G2 finding 11 with 4 alive. Just about. Very minimal health, but that's not going to worry. It will refresh going into the next round. G2, considerable lead now in this T side. Things are getting scary for Big. They're going to have to take a half buy and give away 12 while they wait for that economy to kick back in.
And this is really feeling like a game of strong T sides. We know what G2 can muster when they get onto this side of the map. Big did a good job of bringing the heat early, but now the shoe is very much on the other foot. Smooya with this AWP that was carried forward has to do a lot in this round. Already coming in with some chip damage onto Nexa on the cross, but Amanek hidden over on the logs, removes the AWP from play. Now, thankfully, Tabson, his arms are 6 meters long, so he's lunged forward and grabbed that like a slender man, got him back into the B bomb site, and has Xantares here with him. That AWP still very much a factor in this round, although it might get dodged entirely as G2 go for the top mid control. Tizian's been annihilated. And next here, trying to hold down short with the CZ. Does get the bomb drop, but it's the player on balcony that has him dead to rights. That's Hunter emerging. Xantares now alone. Will be here at the A side of the map, but will he get anything done?
Oh, Kenny's yoinked an AWP through the smoke, but he's not going to get much further with it. Jack's dead as well, and Xantares, he's going for this. He definitely is. 1-on-2. It is doable, but no kit, no armor, and both players conceded the bomb and the site. They've gone double apartments. This is not a setup that Xantares is going to expect, and they are not giving him the information either. I love this call from G2, just so passive, and he is going to have to run away if he wants to hold on to that AWP. He's dropped it long, but Amanek timing the peak perfectly and catching him moving off of the site. Might even have time to get that AWP as well, but he does not. Not a worry regardless. They've got absolutely loads of money on the G2 side. And that anti-eco is dealt with pretty effectively. But now the buy back in for Big. And really, Harry, we're reaching the end of the map. If Big don't pick up this rifle round, they are going to be down likely 14-8 before they get their next. So pressure really is on this next buy.
And when you consider the huge start that they had, how good everything was looking early on, this is certainly not how you imagined it shaping up.
8-round T-side. They've done nothing in the second half yet.
And that's just terrifying. No money after this one. So you really were right to put so much emphasis heading into this round on Big finding some sort of success, some modicum of a win to walk away from at least, and try and get themselves back into this one. Zantara is going to duck out from Banana. Probably the safe decision considering G2 do have 3 players here. And this is forcing them to play very, very reactively. We don't get to see, you know, a Banana take from Big where they can have a 4-man stack towards that A side of the map. Instead, they've got to play off of what they see when they see it as these pushes come in. Either that or they just take gambles like they have right now, moving Smooya over towards B, swapping him out with tabseN. tabseN will be arriving late, and this means there's a double long hold from Big when this A-side play comes in. Long looks to get taken from G2. Oh. This could be damaging as they do now deal with Nex. Will they anticipate tabseN hidden in the cubby?
Oh, Jax. Oh, no, he hasn't checked it. tabseN's playing the trigger discipline. Oh, Dink gets back for the frag, but at this point, he's realized that middle is clear and Big won't rotate off of B. G2 are going right into the stack with 20 seconds, and there's 2 players here. Boost up for Xantares. Smoke to cut off Smooya, but Xantares can still find damage from this position. This bomb needs to hurry up right here, right now. 15 seconds. Smooya with an opportunity, but a missed shot, and he runs right back through the Molotov. Xantares lining up too, and even though the trade is here, Amanek needs to stick this bomb. The smoke not working out on the top of the Molotov. Smooya going to go through it, but it doesn't matter that he dies. This round is done, and Big have picked it up. 9 on the CT side. AWP, we don't know if it just got saved. I think he might have got it in just the last second, but regardless, great round and great information gained by tabseN in that cubby position. Not only taking his time to take that kill, but also getting all the info that it was still a B play and allowing both those players to stick onto the site.
And now a pause called on in. G2 know that they had themselves positioned in such a good spot to close this game out. If they pick that one up, it slips through their fingers, so they want to give it another go. They've still got cash. I think there was only one player who was a bit hamstrung. The rest of the guys all kind of sitting around $4,000 to $6,000, so you can definitely jiggle that cash around so that you get a decent buy in this one. Big finally putting their first CT side round on the board, and hopefully that's a bit of a confidence booster for these guys so that they can continue to replicate that success from early on. They didn't grab the AWP either. We can see that now. Big not quite able to hold on to that. Smooya has instead been throwing the trusty Krieg. And a quad B set up from Big in this round. Oh my word, this is chaos. Nexa fully blind. Xantares brought down to inches of his life. Big gonna start to rotate these players away from B, and that's stellar. They get them out advantage. G2 are stopped in their tracks. There's no chance to trade that. No way to capitalize with a fast A play, because as far as they know, they only saw 2 players at this B side of the map. The one who threw the flash, and Xantares who got the kill. So Big now sitting a man up in the opening segments of this round.
Just about. I mean, Xantares on 2 HP, and he's bottom Banana right now. Talk about a commitment here. There is a re-smoke on tabseN to get him out of position eventually. But the question is, does he even take that moment, or does he stick by the box? Trying to weasel his way to maybe a free kill on an unchecked position with this low health. Tizian's been boosted on long to spot, and he sees nothing in middle either. G2 are coming back towards B. Ooh, the spam, the Molotovs, it could all end his life so quickly, but it's tabseN to go down through the smoke, and now Xantares 2 HP, calling for help, calling for rotations. They won't check the corner. He gets 2 frags with 2 points of health, and G2, while they get the trade, the rotations are already in. Big already have players on this site. Next, getting ready to swing, and he's found some damage, but Hunter's going to drop his life. Tizian on the boost. They won't check it once again. This position continuing to pay off for Big. It's Kenny in the clutch. He's got the bomb. He's going to fake it out once, but not enough time to go for that again. Almost hitting the shot through the smoke, and now he's just got to stick it. Smooya can take him down, and that will be the round for Big. 10 to 12. They come alive right at the most important point, really. They were completely absent of rounds on the CT side, but right as G2 start to establish an economy, Big find back-to-back rounds.
Zentares really coming into his own in these last few for Big, I think has been one of the huge turning points, right? He went from being not like bottom of the board, but he really wasn't having like a stereotypically fantastic Zentares game.
Well, one thing that was worrying was the only person fragging at the end of the first half was Nex. So I was kind of scared that moving on to the CT side, you know, if we don't have someone else stepping up, then things could get dangerous. And that was the case for the first few rounds. And this AWP has been avoided well. So Zentares, you know, finding his footing in the CT side is certainly taking some of the pressure off here for Big.
I find it kind of interesting because in a way you could definitely draw some parallels between these two teams, right? Both of them originally fall like, you know, just one nationality, then they make a few changes, bring in some imports in. Both have to switch over to English, which isn't native for anyone apart from Smooya. And in the same way as well, it's so often that we look to the imports in either one of these two teams to have these huge individual moments, right? Zentares over on the side of Big, and obviously Nexa and Hunter over on the side of G2. So interesting kind of dynamic, and the fact that we got Zentares showing up definitely makes this game a spicy one. There's not much in this round for G2 aside from that Galil on Hunter. They put a lot of stock in him getting something done, and instead, well, he will get one. Everyone else has been mowed down though, and the Galil, good for two, somehow, some way.
Fair enough.
Big still winning that round out, getting an 11th on the board.
Yeah, it was just a hero gun. One rifle where they had a little bit more money, everyone else on pistols. So, yeah, trading some frags with the Galil, but by and large, nothing significant. And Big, they have only got one round in the way of them equalizing this scoreline, and it should be theirs as well, considering the buy. That being said, will this pace set Big off guard? Because G2 have gone for 4 SMGs. Going to be expecting a fast B approach with this kind of buy. Flash is being set up for Kenny to get these. Ooh, he doesn't press a jump key, and that is awkward. Luckily enough, Tabson's blind anyway, and he will back off. But on this AWP, he's going to have open season. Flashes are so good, though, from G2. And Tabson's thinking back. Zentares blind as well. They're already in the CT spawn. They're hunting him down. He's got the pistol out. Zentares with one. Can he double up? Not this time at the back of the site. But Smooya does get a responsive kill with that grenade. Things are turning out well for Big. He may have lost the bomb site and the plant may be in, but how will G2 be able to close this out in the post plant?
Oh, Amanek, Speed Demon, almost actually gets to flick on a Smooya. That would have been incredible, but he doesn't. And now it's only Jax who's dodging bullets right now, sweating bullets as well. And they'll hear those trickling down onto the floor. Big 12-12 as they tie this one up. Getting another round over here on the CT side. They make that retake happen. And honestly, I mean, I almost feel like if you're G2 at this point, you might just have to give Zentares the respect over towards this B side of the map, because he's been so good time and time again at shutting down these B plays.
That grenade made someone fly up into the sky. Love the ragdolls in this game. They are a lot of fun. But for now, a buy coming back in for G2, no AWP, and that's a choice. That's not an economical problem here. Smooya has been pretty quiet in comparison to the likes of Zentares and Nex, of course. Ooh, these mollies at B keep Tabson trapped with Zentares, but they're going to smoke it off and try and stay alive. Ooh, playing with fire here, playing with smoke, spamming it, not connecting though, and Big with the opportunity to back up now if they want, but Zentares clearly committing to play anti-flash here as Tabson baits them in. Smoke fading though, and Tabson's just going to take a dry fight, but the trade is in. Zentares going back for more, and finally they'll be able to deal with him. Right. Smooya's still here though.
Gatekeeper of B is dead, and now you've just got to get past his minions, and they'll dispatch them pretty quickly indeed. Tizian trickling into middle, but he's not ready for Jax. Hidden down beneath that balcony, really is no Romeo. He just cuts him right down, and it is now Nex left up in the 1v4. He's going to try and hold on to this M4, but looking at Jax over in the apartments, I don't think he's going to let him get away with it.
Sneaky, sneaky. Ooh, ooh. Timing is everything here, and Jax is just going to dedicate. In a minute, G2, if they want, they can send another player over, but the thing is you have to remember their money isn't built up just yet, so it's kind of important that they keep a minimum of 3 alive.
I want Jax to turn towards short and try and investigate pit.
Yeah, he's going round. going through apartments. He might find him, but Nex has got his eyes trained.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Nex, once that bomb goes off, you know, you got like 5-6 seconds till the round ends. He can just hide. You don't even have to be peeking at that point. So yeah, no kill comes in. G2, they're fine with that, right? One man survives, but you get the round. You maintain this lead, critically so. And you finally beat the beast at B.
Yeah, great trade work from G2, right? They lose a couple of players down Banana, but they ultimately get immediate trades and don't let Big back off from that top Banana control. Orb again for Smooya. Kenny is joining him.
Quick thing to note, we are back at that same point in time that we were earlier on, where Big have no money, and so this becomes a must-win round. Because otherwise, all this fight, all these rounds that they've put up can be for nothing. They will have nothing to work with in this following round. Up against 14-12, so finding the man advantage there, pivotal for Big, as now they sit 5-on-4 up in the opening 30 seconds of this one.
Smart decision to back off from Tabson. It looked like he wanted to take that fight with the bottom B smoker and kill the player tucked in the corner, but if he goes down there, that just gives away an advantage. So he smokes, he falls back, and he gets boosted up into CT. This has been a great position for Big all half long. They found multiple kills from that CT boost. So if G2 go back towards B, they need to be aware of it this time because it's caught them off once too many. Smooya waiting for Jax. And this is, you know, this is a must-have kill for Smooya if Jax does take the fight. But flashes to be expected with G2 grouping up in middle. That makes this a little bit harder. G2 just going for the full execute. They've done this before. Plenty of smokes towards A. Amanek still trying to sell that B fake with grenades, and it's actually forced to rotate. Nex has gone back towards B, and that gives a chance for G2 with 35 seconds walking into the more unstacked site of the two.
You know, if you're G2, you've been conditioning Big all half long for these B plays. That's pretty much all you've been running, with mixed results as well. And so here, into this all-important round where Big have no money in the next, they've tried to play the mind game, and now they hit this A side of the map. Tizian gets removed. It's all on the shoulders of Smooya to try and keep the dream alive. Tabson dropped in library, Smooya followed up onto, and this one is done. G2, they'll get a 14th round. These weapons trying to be salvaged from Big, but if you're G2 here, you've got to go hunting for these. If you take these guns out of the round, Big, they are force buying till the end of this game.
At least send one player out, right? Without a doubt. You've got 4 alive. You can afford to lose one of those players, even if he just dies immediately. It's worth the risk, in my opinion. But they're just making sure that Big aren't close by, and I don't think they'll be able to stop them. Smooya getting stuck in pit there, and that shows the problem of that long control, right? Big rotate a player over towards B early, and as a result, they leave long open, knowing that, okay, we're not going to get wrapped in CT. That's fine. But what it does leave Smooya open to is getting peeked from Graveyard. And if you're in pit and you're getting peeked from Graveyard, like top Graveyard, that's such a horrible fight for you to take. It's so easy for the T's to isolate you.
Plus,
there, so.
it's one thing to do it with a rifle.
Yeah.
It's another to have to take that fight with an AWP.
Yeah,
like,
you're not winning that ever.
You've got like a pixel of vision over the top of it, you know. Like they're winning that 9 times out of 10. You really cannot blame Smooya for that one there. That said, I still think it's pretty apparent that he's struggling a bit right now, right? We haven't really seen this AWP have too much impact. Do you think back to yesterday, especially, I think it was that nuke game where he was just the thing that set Big apart, you know, dropping something like 30 kills across that map.
You could see the frustration there. I mean, it's got to hurt, right? It's just a crucial position. The only A-side player, him being alive, rather, can keep Big in that round. But now, they're a man down, Harry, up against 14. You called it. The money is gone. They've forced up. They put everything they can into this one. And G2, they're not playing a slow round. They're not waiting out the time. They are just fast-paced taking this A-short control.
Yeah, we've seen them do this a few times where they flash over from mid, they get Jax out from the apartments, and he just challenges short. And you can see what that's done. It's divided this site. Smooya trying to make a stand, but he's traded almost immediately. Xantares 1v3.
Got to save.
And it's a horrid call to have to make, right? You give up map point on your map pick to G2, but this gun is going to be the only fighting chance you have heading into that all-important next round to try and deny the victory the way of your opponents.
And now it's just the mind games of, okay, where are G2 going to go next round, right? Because you talk about this conditioning towards B. Well, the 2 rounds that G2 have just won near the end of the map have both been A rounds. So do they put this rifle on Xantares on A? And if they do, what happens if that B rush comes in? This is where games can get so tricky to be on the CT side.
If you're G2 heading into this next round, I imagine they are going to play a painfully slow default. They're not going to give any kills the way of Big. They don't want to be giving up those rifles early. They don't want to be letting this M4 on Xantares find some impact here and there. Instead, you're going to slow right down because you know it's Big feeling the pressure. You know, they're the ones who have to make the plays. They're the ones who have to try and show up.
G2 are so good at controlling the pace like that. We saw that in that game versus North yesterday where they were going for all these fast T-con plays on Train, getting out Olaf. They did it for about 7 rounds in a row, and then the one round that North finally realized what's going on and start throwing mollies, G2 just sit back and they just wait, and North feed them kills. So let's see if that's going to be the play here in round number 28, or if they want to keep up this pace. Nades up Banana. Amanek is sectioned off here. He might call for some flashbangs to keep him in position, but a smoke has to be used instead to extinguish some Molotovs. Flash up, and Xantares fighting. He gets away with the spray, and look at the damage. Not just 1 kill, but putting Nexa down to 27, and that grenade even going to find a little bit more. Jack's on 46. It actually would have killed Nexa if it landed in the logs like it was intended to, but it bounced off. So Nexa, he doesn't know it, but he is very lucky to be alive right now. This could be a 5-on-3 in a different universe. Guns getting traded on B. Xantares has had to give his weapon over to Tabson, who has more health. Does make sense. Boost up at the back of the site. G2, though, not in a rush after losing that pick.
Yeah, and now it's G2 the ones feeling the pressure, right? Because they know this is their chance to walk away with an easier victory. If they lose this one, then it does become a grind to try and close it out. You don't have many rounds to grind through. No one wants to be the next player to fall for G2, and so they will just play this one, so safely. Still stacked up here on B. You can see Big, though, getting curious up in top mid, and Smooya, he's got the information that there's no one here. These rotations can come in. Xantares has just got to buy a little bit of time, and he's been so good at that. The timekeeper, they finally shut him down, and now Hunter and Kenny, they've pulled it back from what was a 2-on-4 down to a 2v2 in a matter of seconds. Are they ready for Smooya, who has seen the head of Hunter Kenny emerging to protect his teammate? The Hunter becomes the hunted, and Smooya's removed. Hizian now alone. And he knows that both players have crossed over towards Ruins, but they could just buddy system this. They can just play for time. Surely there is not a world in which Tizian gets this one done, and there is not. G2, they will take Big's map pick. They close it out with a dominant T side. And what a victory from them. Stellar stuff across the board. It took a bit of time to warm into it, but once they got the ball rolling, it could not be stopped. Join us for the second map to see exactly how far this series goes after a quick break.